Donald Trump had a phone call with European leaders and, of course, leaders from the United Nations this week ahead of his private meeting with Russian dictator Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday. And European leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, had some words of warning for Donald Trump. And one European leader actually pissed Trump off pretty severely. Here's what happened. We had all of these leaders basically telling Donald Trump, listen, Putin is going to try to manipulate you. Okay, you're not going to get the upper hand here. And according to sources who, were privy to the phone call, Donald Trump scaled back his expectations for this meeting, basically telling them like, look, I'm just trying to get a feel for what it may take to, get a ceasefire if we want to talk about giving up territories from one country to another, which Trump has suggested Ukraine do. He said, that's up to Vladimir and Volodymyr. I'm not involved in that. But that's kind of what set off these other European leaders. You had Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who raised some good points, it says, and then Polish President Karol Nawrocki reminded Trump of the Battle of Warsaw exactly 105 years ago when Poland fought together with Ukrainians against the Bolsheviks in Russia. And then you also had German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who basically said that, you're doing this, but can you trust Putin? And then Zelensky came out and said, Putin cannot be trusted, which is absolutely correct. Now, all of this, as it's happening, is just getting under Trump's skin, right? He's mad. He wants to go meet with his best buddy. He's going to let Putin manipulate him and effectively brainwash him to give him whatever he wants. But then French President Emmanuel Macron spoke up and said that this is a very big thing to give to Putin, basically legitimizing him, bringing him onto U.S. soil, treating him like royalty, giving him a meeting with the President of the United States, which hasn't happened since 2021. And that, according to the sources, is what pissed Donald Trump off the most. Here's why. All of these leaders, Zelensky, the leaders at the UN, the leaders across Europe, they understand how easy it is to manipulate Donald Trump. And they know that nobody does it better than Vladimir Putin. They know that even by meeting with Putin on your home turf even is giving him what he wants because, again, it legitimizes him. It puts him on the same level that you are on. And by doing that, it gives him power. These leaders are not doing that for a very specific reason. It's not because Putin won't meet with them. It's because they know that nothing good will come of these talks. Trump doesn't understand that because he puts his blind faith in Putin. And so when he gets called out for that, he gets angry. Nothing good is going to come from this meeting on Friday. That's a given. The best we can hope for is that Donald Trump does not completely pull U.S. support from Ukraine, but according to reports, he is leaning in that direction. So we'll have to wait and see. But European leaders are not holding their breath because not only do they not have any faith or trust in Putin, they also have zero faith in Donald Trump. By now, Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed. But almost no one's reporting how ICE is going to get nearly $40 billion of our tax dollars a year, making it the most heavily funded law enforcement agency in U.S. history. That's more money than most nations actually spend on their entire military. So much of our media is either missing the worst of this bill or twisting the language so that you think it's all in your best interest. But we have seen the ICE raids ramping up, and now Trump's openly threatening to deport U.S. citizens. This should be the biggest story in America, yet it's buried, which is what makes Ground News essential right now. They're the only tool that I've found that is exposing these blind spots in the media. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, then analyzing just how far right and radical each unbiased source actually is, you get way more context than you ever would anywhere else. If we're being honest, we have seen Trump's power grabs throughout history. They said never again, and that means never again everywhere, and right now, it's happening here. So if you want to stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply finding the stories missing from your news feeds, Ground News has you covered. Their app and website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay informed at a time when MAGA is banking on us to stay distracted. So I've partnered with them to get you 40% off the very same Vantage plan that I've been using. That comes out to about $5 per month for unlimited access to everything that I've mentioned and more. Just go to ground.news/ROF or scan the QR code to subscribe. With at least another 4 years of this, we can't afford to miss these details.